What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? All right, so we need to have a chat about what is about to happen over these next 4 months. I mean, Bitcoin right now back up over $119,000 as I'm recording this video, looking very, very bullish, guys. Right, a lot of negativity out there and stuff because of the last, I don't know, we'll call it 48 hours of red. I mean, the market's kind of a mixed bag right now. I wouldn't really say that it's red, but I wouldn't say that it's green either. In saying that, though, guys, so like I said, a lot of people are negative. Guys, we had like 3 or 4 weeks of green, followed by like a couple days of red. I really do believe that this day is going to be, or this week, sorry, is going to be more of a sideways kind of week. Maybe a little red, right? But that's perfectly normal and perfectly acceptable considering, you know, how much green we've seen lately. We got to build some support levels, guys. That's perfectly normal to build support levels and consolidate, to run up, have a bit of a correction, both in Bitcoin and in the altcoins, right? And then consolidate, correct and consolidate, right? People are acting like we lost all the gains that we gained over the last 3 or 4 weeks. And quite simply put, that's not the case. It's not true at all, right? Not even kind of true. So we're still up. Altcoins are consolidating at higher levels. Same with Bitcoin. So, I mean, well, Bitcoin just kind of been sideways, really. So like I said, it's still 119,000-ish. A lot of people speculating on where we're going to go. There is a CME gap, guys, down at $114,000. Are we going to fill that gap? That is a tough question, right? Sorry if my phone, my holder is shaking. I apologize, but that's a controversial question because here's the thing, right? CME gaps don't always have to fill immediately. They do a large percentage of the time. But if you were to go back in Bitcoin's history even, you would see that there are CME gaps down in the early years and stuff of Bitcoin that never ended up filling. So everything doesn't necessarily, all the CME gaps don't necessarily always have to fill, right? Now people, I've been asked a few times, there's a lot of new people, so we have to reiterate things quite a bit, guys. So I get asked, you know, what is a CME gap? A CME gap, simply put, guys, to sum it up as quickly as I can, basically on a Friday when markets close, even though Bitcoin markets don't close, right? TradFi markets close. If Bitcoin crashes or goes on a nice parabolic run over the course of a weekend, well, it's not recorded on the TradFi markets like the New York Stock Exchange or New York, what the hell is it called again? I can't remember. Anyway, so in saying that, sorry, my phone's ringing. I'm going to ignore that. In saying that, guys, so what happens is it doesn't record over the weekend. So then Monday happens and Bitcoin's price is higher than it was on Friday when the markets closed. Well, what ends up happening is you now have a gap in the charts, right? So this gap generally has to fill. So the price will generally be pulled back either up or down to that price to fill that gap like a magnet, right? So that's essentially what a CME gap is. They fill a large percentage of the time, but not necessarily every time, okay? So in saying that, could we come back down to $114,000? Absolutely we could. Absolutely we could, guys. To fill it. It's not mandatory though. I am leaning towards it happening, dropping down to 114K. It feels like if that were to happen, it would definitely flush out a lot of people. It would scare a lot of people, right? You would start seeing a lot of people on YouTube saying that was the top for Bitcoin. You know, the market's going down into a bear market. You see that stuff. There's so many people out there creating content that really have no idea what they're talking about. It's staggering to me, right? And they don't even skip a beat when they're wrong. They don't apologize. They don't come back and acknowledge it or anything. They just keep carrying on as though they weren't wrong, right? But anyway, I mean, listen, everybody's wrong. I'm wrong a lot of the time. Some of the time, I wouldn't say a lot of the time, but I'm wrong often. And When I am, I face it. I say, man, I thought this was going to happen, but that happened and I was wrong, right? So, but everybody's wrong, but I face it. Some people don't face it, right? But you're going to get these people telling you that we're going into a bear market if Bitcoin corrects down to $114,000. It's not going into a bear market, guys, right? I've talked about the metrics time and time again. You have an average of 525 days roughly between the Bitcoin halving event, which happened back in April of last year, and the peak of every market cycle. Happens every time consistently without fail, right? Now, a lot of people are saying that, well, you know, the 4-year cycle's dead. Is it? Is it? Right? They say that, but the Bitcoin, the 4-year cycle is correlated to the Bitcoin halving event, which happens every 4 years. The only thing that I could see really breaking the 4-year cycle, honestly, is like so many mining companies start mining Bitcoin that it gets, I don't even know if that would work. I don't even know if that, I don't know what the logistics of that are exactly. I'm not sure even that would slow down the Bitcoin halving event. Like, or yeah, like, you know, the 4-year cycle would slow it down or speed it up or anything like that. If more massive mining companies mined and people were mining, you know, the mining increased 100-fold or something like that, would it shorten the 4-year cycle because all the Bitcoin possibly being able to be mined in that 4-year cycle would be mined faster? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that would be the case, to be honest with you. So I'd have to look deeper into that. I don't think so, but either way, guys, the 4-year halving is linked to the Bitcoin halving, right? A lot of these content creators and stuff, they, you know, Bitcoin maxis, they're out there shilling the end of the 4-year cycle because institutions are buying Bitcoin and stuff. They never tell you the flip side of that coin. They never tell you that, you know, you're seeing stock market or stock prices of companies like Strategy and Metaplanet and stuff like that are skyrocketing because they're putting Bitcoin on their balance sheets, and they're primarily just becoming companies that solely all they do is they buy Bitcoin, right? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But these Bitcoin maxis, they don't want you to look at the other side of that coin. They don't tell you that, well, if the stock price is going up of the company because they continue to buy and buy and buy and buy more Bitcoin, well, then it stands to reason that the price of the stock, the value of the stocks of these companies, when Bitcoin starts going down into a bear market, would plummet with the price of Bitcoin as well. You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? You got to take the crookeds with the straights. So if the stock's going to skyrocket with the value of Bitcoin going up, well, then it's going to plummet most likely with the value of Bitcoin going down, right? But they don't want to tell you that side of it, right? You got to be careful of people who only tell you the good stuff, guys, because they're misleading you, right? They're only telling you what they want you to know. They want you to be a moon boy, and they want your clicks, right? I tell you both sides of every single situation. It's a double-edged sword. You got to take the crookeds with the straights, as is life, guys, right? So, and that leads us into, you know, succeeding in this space, right? I keep telling people, 90% of people in crypto, they don't make money. They either break even or they lose money. And there's multitude of reasons why that's the case, guys, right? You might hear that and think, oh, that sounds made up, blah, blah, blah. It's not. Guys, think about this for a second. Really just sit down and think about it, right? If everyone was making millions of dollars in crypto, why is everyone not driving around in Lambos wearing Gucci and all that kind of garbage, right? Because they're not making life-changing wealth in crypto, right? They just hear it and they spew it around because it's popular and it gets clicks. The real ugly truth of the matter is, for 10% of people in crypto to make true life-changing wealth, 90% of people in crypto have to lose. That's just the long and short of it. Where do you think the people who are making millions and millions and millions of dollars, like myself, where do you think we're getting that money from? How do you think we're getting that money? Because for every single person that sells, somebody's there buying. That's the whole point. There's a buyer for every seller. So for every winner, there has to be like for every person who wins and makes millions of dollars, there's probably thousands, tens of thousands of people who contributed to making that person wealthy, making millions of dollars, because they lost. That's how it works, right? That's the ugly truth of it, guys, that most people don't want to talk about, they don't want to discuss, because it's not sexy, right? But I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna tell you the truth here. And that's how it goes, guys. So, and there's a multitude of reasons how, or factors that indicate like how the people who lose. A lot of times they come in, they start chasing green candles, they buy the tops, they'll do things like they'll sell projects that are boring and not doing anything that they've been holding for like 9 months, and then they'll roll that money into a project that's been pumping for like 2-3 weeks because it's their old project's boring. And then what happens is the project that they bought into that's been pumping while everybody sells, and now they bought the top and they're a bag holder, and the project that they sold out of that was boring starts to pump like crazy, and then they're pissed off and they think it's all a scam, when at the end of the day, it's not a scam, guys. It's not a scam at all. It really boils down to whether you're willing to get the proper education and training in this space to succeed. That's really all it takes. Crypto is easy, my friends. Getting rich in crypto is easy if you get the proper knowledge, if you get the proper understanding of how this market navigates, how to navigate the market, how the cycles work, right? How to get your emotions and your emotions out of it. Just use your logic and your basic facts to invest. Getting away from the moon boy bull BS. I can't swear on YouTube, but getting away from the moon boy BS and getting actual realistic strategies and exit price points, and being able to learn how to front run this market. Which means, when I say front run the market, what do I mean? Well, what I mean is you have to learn how to leave this market before everybody else does, right? I've not seen any other YouTube channel teaching people how to do that. You have to leave before everybody else. Don't sit there looking at your coins going, well, like a lot of people are, the general consensus for Cardano is $10, let's say, right? Don't sit there going, well, I could get $10 out of it. Don't do that, guys. Sell at 7, not financial advice, but sell at 7, because a couple things. One, the odds are it's not going to go to $10 like the general consensus thinks that it will, for starters. And for two, even if it does go to $10, you're going to be trying to get your sell orders to fill, competing with everybody else. The sell orders are going to outnumber the buy orders because no one's buying it at $10, and then you're going to end up holding your bags too long. These are the things that other people are not teaching you, guys. Getting rich in this space is easy. Don't be greedy. Pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. Get out early, learn how to navigate this space based on actual information and not emotion and hype, right? And moon boy BS. And you will succeed in this space, guys. Listen, 90% of people in crypto lose money because they don't know how to do these very basic things, okay? Get over to the 10% club. The link will be in the description, guys. Check it out for yourselves. We've helped 43 people just this year hit 7-figure portfolios, and so many others have hit the 6-figure number, guys. This could be you. Learn how to navigate this space properly. Don't be part of the 90%. Be part of the 10% that succeed in this space. Thousands of members live every day. We actually have a live stream tonight. Special guests Thursday nights. We have exclusive live streams in the 10% club. We got Maximus Crypto and Rule Black every Thursday joining us. We're going to do deep dives tonight into some micro cap gems. We're going to drop the alpha on you guys. Get over there. The link is down below in the chat. Also, real quick, guys, if you want a free ZBIC airdrop, yes, I said a free ZBIC airdrop, get down to the description. There is a link. Use our coupon code future20 off. It will be down in the description. You're going to get $20 off your Decent wallet. You're also going to get a free ZBIC airdrop to your Decent wallet on August 20th. This offer is exclusive to my channel through Decent, and it's going to expire on August 5th. So get in there ahead of time, guys. Get your decent wallet, get your free Xebec airdrop. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.